they're actually held on the first floor. You can see nothing's actually held on the ground floor, as the river here used to flood quite frequently, and the building's actually designed to allow flood water through, as you can see, the kind of wide, very low doorways. But as I said, nothing's held on the ground floor to protect the water. And all the books have got additional protection on the first floor with that kind of tinted glass that you see there. That's actually moss glass, which works in the same way as your sunglasses do, protecting any UV damage from affecting the books, as the books in there really can't be damaged, as they're mainly all original copies. So among them we have the original copy of Winnie the Pooh, probably the most famous children's book of all time. So Isaac Newton and William Shakespeare's original works, and also a page taken out of the first ever translation of English translation of the Bible. So an impressive amount, really. So the eagle is actually looking away in that direction in disgust, as they can't bear to look at Trinity College, which says a lot about the rivalry. So willing to modify their whole like the symmetrical side of the building, just to show their rivalry with Trinity College. So yeah, St John's are the second richest, but in terms of size, they are the largest in terms of land that they cover on the university ground. So it makes sense they're the only college that has two bridges on the river. The one behind us is called Kitchen Bridge, purely because it's the bridge that the kitchen staff used to bring the food to the eating quarters. But much more importantly, we've got the Bridge of Sighs just straight ahead here, the most famous bridge on the river. So it was built at the same time, 1831. It was joined to the New Court building, and it was originally called New Bridge alongside New Court to go hand in hand. But the name has changed to the Bridge of Sighs once Queen Victoria came to visit and decided it looked exactly like the Bridge of Sighs in Venice, so they changed the name and called it the Bridge of Sighs. Sighs is then the kind of noise you make when you're sad and grumpy. But it makes sense that it's called here in Venice as well. So in Venice it's called the Bridge of Sighs, as it's the bridge that the prisoners used to cross to get to the execution chambers. So as a result of that, the college didn't pay the guy the full amount of money, and obviously being a builder, having worked on it for so long, you think you'd be proud of it, but no, he wasn't paid the full amount, so he was angry and came back and retaliated by removing that chunk, and it still remains there today. But it's still good for storytelling, even though it doesn't make the bridge look complete. But as I said, the oldest bridge on the river, so Clare College is the oldest college on the river, dating back to 1326, but they're the second oldest among all 31 in land and water. So Peacehouse College is the oldest altogether in 1284, and then the university as a whole was founded in 1209 as a result of two students from Oxford University. Okay, so now we're on to Trinity Hall College. You can't see a lot of the buildings, but it's just the buildings kind of stretching there. That's just our library there. But Trinity Hall College was founded in 1350. They were very lucky to have Professor Stephen Hawking, arguably the most famous scientist of all time, study there for his postgraduate degree. Having studied at Oxford for his undergraduate, where he didn't actually get along very well with his lecturers there. And so decided not to stay at Oxford for his postgraduate and try something new. So he came to Cambridge, and worked out very well for him as he stayed here for the rest of his life. He loved Cambridge. If any of you have seen the film The Theory of Everything, you'll understand his kind of passion for it. Living about 400 metres back diagonally in that direction, but he carried on teaching and lecturing at Trinity Hall.
我来说没有广角，实在是拍不了它。
생각하지도 못했는데 그렇지 않아요. 강이라고.
Lovely to meet you all. My name is Alex. I'll be a guide down the river. We're going to be going side by side with this boat here. I'll be giving a tour of both you guys. If you've got any questions along the way, don't hesitate to ask. But we'll get on to the tour about 100 metres down there. So just enjoy the river for now.
我们是倒着的呢，不是在前面的。
저희가 앉은 자리가 그 홈이라서 거꾸로 가요.
So that's why it's named after them. But Darwin College is one of 2 postgraduate colleges among all 31. And we'll be seeing mainly undergraduate colleges around the corner, and that's where the kind of historic colleges start. But this is the newest one on the river, so there's not a lot of stories to tell about it, but maybe in about 100 years we'll have a few more.
다윈 단과대가 있고 하는데 역사가 깊다고 하는 것 말고는 알아듣지 못해서 영어 공부 열심히 해야겠어.
第1个学院，你听懂了吧？ This is the first of the historic colleges, Queen's College. So
founded in 1448, kind of making them halfway of the kind of college being founded. And they're a fairly medium-well college as well, but they do have two of the most important structures on the river to their name. So you've got the President's Lodge here on the right, which is the oldest building on the river, dating back to the 1460s. And also we have the second most famous bridge on the river, which was under now the Mathematical Bridge. So there's a lot of stories about the Mathematical Bridge, which people like to believe because they're entertaining, but unfortunately they're not true. Most famously, Isaac Newton, the famous mathematician, and built the bridge without any nuts or bolts. Like the one you can see, there are nuts and bolts on the bridge, and Isaac Newton died about 20 years before the bridge was built, so quite an easy one to stick out the window there. Clearly cannot be true, but the design did come from a man called William Etheridge, who was one of Isaac Newton's students studying at Queen's College. So potentially in some sort of way, Isaac Newton's influence through his teaching may have played a role in the building, but he wasn't directly the man behind it. Okay, this is still Queen's College on the right, so going on to the Erasmus building. Commonly known as the ugliest building on the river for obvious reasons. Doesn't really fit in with its surroundings, all of the nice beautiful buildings around it. It's just a classic kind of red brick 60s style building, built in 1959 and designed by Sir Basil Spence. He wanted the building to reflect this side of the river, so he wanted the pillars at the bottom to be like the tree trunks, the main body and the thin slit windows to be the leaves and branches, and the railing at the top to be typical of kind of British English clouds. But again, in my opinion, it's just kind of a sore on the eyes, especially compared to all the other lovely buildings you guys are going to see. But it's one of the main accommodations for Queen's College, so even though it's not nice to look at, it still is important for the university. Okay, so just past this wall when it opens up, guys, this is King's College now. Founded by Henry VI in 1411. The building you see here, you can't see it very well at the moment, unfortunately. Bodley's Court, it's all second year accommodation for King's College students. But it is the most expensive accommodation among the whole university, setting you back about £400 per week, which is about 4 times what I pay. Just to put it into perspective, so if you can afford it, pretty amazing location, but many people can't. But now we're coming to King's Bridge, just under it now. It's nicknamed Kung Chao because the Chinese poet was using more. And he wrote his farewell poem to Cambridge, famously up on that bridge there, just before he left after having lovely time at the University of Cambridge. But this is now kind of the main view of King's College and Cambridge itself, the most famous building in Cambridge. You've got King's College Chapel there, the very grand building, and also the Gibbs building, the short, wide, white building to its side, designed by James Gibb as well, who also designed White House in America, so you may see similarities.
뉴욕 쪽의 대학들은 못 가봤지만
유럽 쪽의 대학들은 굉장히 예쁜 것 같아요. In the whole entire world, only behind the Sistine Chapel in the Vatican City, belonging to the Pope. But Henry VI was about 23 when the first brick was laid for the chapel. Somewhat of a young, naive king. He wanted it to be built within around 10 years. Looking at it now, somewhat of an ambitious task, and it was. So there's a war going on in England for the large chunk of the construction of the chapel. And as a result of this, the money had to go towards the war instead of the chapel, eventually resulting in the chapel taking 10 times longer than it should have taken. Just under 100 years to build the whole thing from start to finish. So it didn't quite go to plan for Henry VI and the 3 other kings who followed him after during the construction. But obviously it's worth it now, and it's still in use pretty much every day, where the King's College Chapel Choir